Hello. I found out something this morning that I want to share with you. I was talking with our canon for administration and discovered that churches are eligible for tax credits. It has something to do with the recent health care legislation, and this wasn't available before, but it is available now, and we wanted our churches to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. To do that, we've got Ms. Kristen Hoyle, who is with the firm of Thomas Judy and Tucker here in Raleigh, and she is a C.P.A. specializing in nonprofits. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, tell us about this tax credit and what it's all about.
The tax credit came out with the Health Care Act back in 2010, and it was for small businesses that had 25 or fewer employees and paid 50% of their health insurance, and their average salaries were $50,000 or less. Well, at the end of December, the IRS clarified that this credit applied for nonprofits and churches. So what we did is, with all of our nonprofits and our small businesses, we filed for the tax credit. Well, as we started doing audits for our churches, we realized that they weren't taking advantage of this credit. And because they're not filing a tax return, they don't think that they're getting a tax credit. But what we're doing is we're going ahead and we're getting the information from the churches, and we're calculating to see what this tax credit is. And of the churches that we've done so far, the smallest amount that they have received is $3,700. Medium-sized church received $8,200, and then another medium-sized church received almost $15,000 in a tax credit for 2010. Now, this tax credit is available for the next 3 years. So, I called your canon on finance to say, okay, this is something that you really need to do, because two of those churches I was talking about are in the Episcopal diocese. And I feel, well, you should spread it out to everyone. Now, I found that a lot of these churches have heard about this credit, but they were confused because they thought, we're not paying any income taxes, so we're not qualifying, or the minister's salary is so, puts them up over the $50,000. But the tax credit actually says you only include salaries that are subject to Social Security. So as you know, with your salary, if you're ordained, your salary is not included in Social Security taxes. So what's really kind of a good little bump for our churches is that your health insurance that's paid for you is included in the credit, but your salaries are not. So it really helps to really bump up that credit for the churches. So it's really important that the churches really dive into it and not just automatically think that they don't qualify. Yeah, some of the really larger churches are not going to qualify because, if you have a church that's really large and has a school associated with it, they may be over that $25,000.
So they should check into it as well, just in case.
Yeah, because, for instance, one of the Episcopal churches that I was dealing with, they have a school, but it's a separate federal ID number. So if you have a school and a church, and they have separate ID numbers, you may qualify for that credit.
So basically, if I have a congregation that has a full-time priest, a part-time sexton, a part-time secretary, and a part-time organist, we probably qualify.
You probably qualify. And as long as you're paying 50% or more of the health insurance, and it doesn't matter whether it's individual or family, as long as you're paying the 50%, and even if it's only for like 2 or 3 people, you're probably going to get some credit back.
So this is one time Caesar can serve Christ.
Yes, Caesar can serve Christ. And what's really even more extraordinary about this credit is the fact that these tax returns, it's called the 990T, they were due May 15th. And the IRS realized that a lot of churches didn't realize that they had to do it. So they said, okay, we'll let you go ahead and file it late, and there's no penalties and no interest.
Wow. Well, one question related to that. If I'm a parish priest and I'm the priest and I have a part-time secretary and a volunteer treasurer who may not do books for a living, would we be able to fill out this form, or what would you advise that we should do?
It's a little bit complicated if you've never done it before. I would do first see if you've got someone in your congregation that is a C.P.A. I think someone who knows you, whatever. If not, I'd be willing to help you out, for a nominal fee, and help you out and try to do it very reasonable, and do this for you. Now, we can do it over the internet, because if you're in the mountains, all we need is like a little spreadsheet that's filled out and a copy of your W-3, and then we can calculate it. And if we go through it and determine that you're not going to get anything, we won't charge you for anything. Because I kind of look at this as my mission to help. God gave me a lot of gifts. In serving a congregation as you do is not one of them. So I'm going to use my finances to help you to serve the community, and that's my way to give back. So, but we think this is a great opportunity that the churches just have this money there that they can just take from Caesar.
Well, we're going to include the information on this with this addition of please note, and way that you can contact Kristen or contact your own accountant, but to give them the information that they would need as well.
Right.
One other question.
Yes.
I see on your biographical information that you're a parishioner at Good Shepherd Lutheran Church here in Raleigh.
Yes, I am.
Well, this is a remarkable gift, because Lutherans and Episcopalians are in full communion with each other.
Okay.
And this is a gift we didn't expect from the Lutheran Church, Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. But thank you, Kristen.
Okay. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. God bless you. And keep the faith.